That means let's go. So Jumbo, everybody. My name is Jocelyn and I'll be your safari guide as we make our way through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. You may have already noticed that animal spotting guide, and you probably recognize some of those animals from the film The Lion King. And that's because our trip is similar to that taken by artists about 25 years ago to get inspiration for the film. Now we are going to be entering the reserve at the Little Aturi Forest. And the animals who live in this forest camouflage is their greatest defense against predators. So keep your eyes open and on the lookout because sometimes they can be a little tricky to spot. Now way back there to your right, you'll spot some striped legs. They belong to the okapi. And they do look a little bit like zebra, but they're the only known living relative to the giraffe. And these birds here on our left, these are saddle-billed storks. Now they can stand almost 5 feet tall with a wingspan of up to 9 feet. And they'll rattle their bills together to communicate. And they do mate for life, so those two may be a mated pair. And we'll get a little closer to the watering hole up ahead. It's a good gathering place for animals. Now way back there to your left, you can see that black rhino. Now there's only about 5,000 black rhinos left in the wild. Unfortunately, they are being poached for their horns, which are made out of keratin. That's the same material as our fingernails. And when they're full grown, they can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. Oh, and over here on the right, these are bongos. And they're known as ghosts of the forest because they are very rarely seen. But both male and female bongos have heavy horns that go towards their backs to help them get through this thick underbrush. Right turn that should take us out of the forest and closer to a river. Oh, and this looks like the Safi River here. And up ahead of us on the right in the water, there's some Nile hippopotamus. Now they are one of the largest and one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, even though they're herbivores, as they're extremely territorial. They'll spend most of the day in the water, and they can be fully submerged for up to 8 minutes at a time. Oh, and over here on our left there's a group of them, which is called a bloat. And the birds to our left, these are pink-backed pelicans. And they only have their pink feathers during mating season. They'll nest in pairs of up to 500 birds. And with a wingspan of about 7 feet, that is similar to the width of the canopy above your heads. Like underneath this bridge here, there are some Nile crocodile. Now they're the largest crocodile in Africa. They can get up to 16 feet in length, weigh up to 500 pounds, and they have a bite that is strong enough to break bones. They can consume about half of their own body weight in one sitting. Taking us away from the river, and I think I'm starting to notice some vegetation that prefers a more dry environment. And if that's the case, then we are headed into one of the largest parts of the reserve, and also one of my favorites. It looks like we have a baobab tree ahead of us, which means that we are entering the savannah. Now the baobab tree, also known as the upside down tree, that'll remain leafless up to 9 months out of the year, and it's to conserve water during the dry season. Now as we enter the savannah, you'll notice it's crafted by the animals who inhabit it. So elephants will bulldoze the trees, giraffes will prune the canopies of trees, and the antelope will mow the grasses down. All of that will create this landscape that goes on for thousands of miles. Now ahead of us is a tower that's a group of giraffes. Now adult giraffes can stand almost 20 feet tall. With long prehensile tongues, they can get to be about 18 inches long. You can spot there are some giraffe calves. And when they were born, they would have stood almost 6 feet tall, and they would have been up and walking within their first hour of life. Now those are a Maasai giraffe, and we can tell that from their irregular pattern shape, which is similar to splotchy ink. Over here on the left, these are African wild dogs, also known as painted dogs. Now they're one of the most successful hunters on the savannah. They'll drive their prey to exhaustion, and the pattern of each of those animals is unique to them. Now they can identify each other even from a distance. Now we do have some Ankole cattle crossing ahead. They're also known as the Watusi cattle. They're named after the first people who domesticated them, and they are the only domesticated animal on the reserve. Now their horns have a honeycomb-shaped structure inside of them that keeps them light. Also allows for blood circulation to help radiate some of the heat off of those animals. And way back there to your left, there are some Sable Antelope. Now they're the symbol of our reserve. The male's coats will darken with age, with the alpha male having the darkest coat. And the large mounds we're passing, these are termite mounds, which are as hard as concrete. They're made of 3 things. It's dirt, saliva, and dung. They can stand to be about 8 feet tall, with some records having them standing over 30 feet tall. Giraffe's tongue is blue, almost dark purple in color. And scientists believe it is that color to help protect it from sun damage. A giraffe will only sleep about 30 minutes out of the day, and they won't do it all at once. They'll do it in small increments, and they'll spend the rest of the 23.5 hours out of the day grazing. some white-bearded wildebeest, which will migrate in herds up to the thousands. And the name wildebeest does translate to wild beast. And when they're born, they'll be up and running with the rest of their herd in about 15 minutes. Notice some more down trees, so let's keep our eyes open and on the lookout for an animal much larger than what we have seen so far. On your right, you'll spot that African elephant. Now they can eat up to 300 pounds of vegetation a day. And both male and female African elephants have those impressive tusks. And the ears of the African elephant also happen to resemble the shape of the continent of Africa. And as they collect those ears, they can bring their body temperature down about 15 degrees. Towards some red clay pits. And you may notice tusk marks on the walls. That's because elephants will eat red clay to get minerals not found in their plant-based diets. Looks like there may be some more African elephants up ahead on our left. In fact, I think this may be part of a herd. It looks like there's quite a few of them. Now, herds of elephants primarily consist of female and the young. Adult males will live by themselves or they form small bachelor herds. Notice dirt and sand on their backs. They'll throw it up there to protect their sensitive skin from the sun. Now if you can see those small antelope off to your right with the white belly, those are springbok. Now they'll only stand to be about 3 feet at the shoulder. They'll spring forward up to 13 feet and jump up 6. These are greater flamingo. They're the largest and the lightest of the flamingo species. They're hatched great. They get that pink color from the shrimp and krill that they eat. Another group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. That is Warden's Post. But it looks like he's confiscated more ivory and rhino horns from poachers. Unfortunately, even out here on the reserves, we must stay vigilant to the threat of poaching. There is a mud pit on our left, which is a pretty good sign for finding a particular animal. Walking up that hill, that is a cheetah. Now cheetahs can reach speeds of up to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds or less. But they are sprinters, they will maintain that speed. They're one of the only large cats that does most of its hunting during the daytime. Oh, there's another cheetah right over there. Now their long, slender bodies are built for speed, and that tail will work like a boat rudder to help it turn while it's running. Now we are approaching a copy. It's a large rock formation used by predators to look over the Savannah's long grasses. Now there's also actually an ostrich ahead of us. But the lion will spend most of the day resting, up to 20 hours of it. And this ostrich on the right is the world's largest bird. They are also flightless.
A rhino!
They can run at speeds of up to 40 miles an hour. There are a bunch of white rhinos over there. Now they get that name from the mistranslation of the Afrikaans word white, which means wide, not white. That's because they have wide set mouths. Now the Disney Conservation Fund has funded over 30 projects to help protect lions in the wild. And their goal by 2050 is to double their numbers. That tree, there's 2 warthogs. Now they're one of the largest burrowing animals. And just like Pumbaa from The Lion King, they do run with their tails straight up. white rhinos is a bontabon.
I see that.
Now they were nearly poached to extinction for their coats, which has a violet-like color to it in the light. And the eggs on the right, those are ostrich eggs. Now they could weigh up to 3 pounds. And a full-grown man could stand on one and they would not even crack. We're leaving the Savannah and we are entering the Magani Glen. And on top of that hill to your left is a scimitar horned oryx. Now they can go up to 9 months without drinking water. Look at all the moisture that they need from the plants that they eat. And that white coat helps reflect the sunlight off of that animal to keep its body temperature down. So we're going to head back to Harambe Village. If you're a wilderness explorer, you're on board the Simple One. And if you would like to help any of the animals that you saw today, as many of them are endangered species, you can always donate to the Disney Conservation Fund. Disney will match dollar for dollar when you donate. And you can donate at any of the merchandising locations in the park. You can also do the 3 R's. It's reduce, reuse, and recycle. Things like the park map. Once you're done with that, just go ahead and recycle it. And on behalf of myself and everyone here at the reserve, we would like to say thank you for joining us. And do please join us again, because no 2 safaris are ever the same. The animals will absolutely make sure of that. Goodbye. It's much too sad and much too final. So instead we will say Kwaherini. And it just means to go well. So Kwaherini, my friends, go well, go wild. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Animal Care. Do make sure to collect all of your personal belongings, and do make sure that you watch your step off of the truck.